Yo, what's up, peeps? Turn-based Nanashi here. Today, we will be talking about Marvel's Midnight Suns and how the game could have possibly been successful if they would have added or changed certain things about the game. First, please subscribe to the channel. We are halfway to 50 subscribers. Thanks to everyone so far who has subscribed or seen my videos. Thank everybody so much. And when I get a subscriber, it helps beyond belief. Beyond belief. Love you guys. Roll the intro. Marvel's Midnight Suns. First of its kind, a turn-based Marvel game. DC doesn't even have a turn-based game yet, and maybe because of this game, it never will. Marvel's Midnight Suns is a tactical RPG set in the Marvel Universe, blending intense turn-based combat with a gripping storyline. Players assume the role of the Hunter, an original, customizable character who teams up with the iconic Marvel heroes to battle supernatural forces threatening Earth. The game features strategic gameplay, combining deck-building mechanics, dynamic abilities, and a deep customization as players lead a team of superheroes to fight evil entities and unravel a thrilling narrative. With its unique blend of tactical combat and Marvel's rich universe, Marvel's Midnight Suns offers an immersive experience for both RPG enthusiasts and Marvel fans alike. After its PS5 and PC release on December 2nd, 2022, it later released on Xbox and PS4 on May 11th, 2023. It was supposed to release on Switch, but it was cancelled. I played this game, finished it. It was fun. It was a pretty okay game. Off the top of my head, I would rate it probably 7.5. But it's not good enough for me to play it twice. So even though the ratings are actually pretty good on this game, it was a commercial flop, as said by Take-Two boss Strauss Zelnick, mostly due to sales. Now picture this. It's December 2022. In December, you have Marvel's Midnight Suns coming out only on PS5 and PC. And on the same day, the Callisto Protocol releases, a game that had a lot of hype since I believe one of the devs from Dead Space or someone from Dead Space helped make this game. Now also, during December, High on Life and the next-gen update for The Witcher 3 released on December 13th. And just to add more competition, a month before that, God of War Ragnarok was released. And people were definitely expecting a sale on that game in December, which there was. So you could say Midnight Suns had to compete with 4 games. High on Life and Callisto Protocol were releasing on multiple platforms. God of War wasn't, but hey, it's God of War. They could do it if it didn't matter. Now, you could say the Callisto Protocol was not really a good game. I believe universally it was around 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, something like that. But it had so much hype prior to its release. Midnight Suns had to be a damn good game. And just to make it harder, the last Marvel game that was released involving the Avengers, which was Marvel's Avengers, didn't do that well. This game had an uphill fight even before its release. But we're going to go through some ideas I have to see how the game could have come out a 9 or a 10 out of 10 game, and giving it a better fighting chance in its release. Mostly there are 5 things that I would have changed or added to this game. The first one being the character customization. What we got was pretty alright, but that's it. It was alright. What if we had more customization? A lot more hairstyles. Changing your body shape, maybe more of a stocky build like Captain America or Wolverine, making your character taller or shorter, just adding some more things, and then being able to choose your weapons. I don't mean in the aspect of like changing classes from like mage to fighter to a range or stuff like that, no. I mean, you have, let's say, a selection of 5 weapon types to choose from. You have either the 2 short blades that you already have in the game, or 2 axes. Both of them do the exact same thing. It's pretty much just on which one you want to see, and both of them have different, I guess, animations. And then a claymore or a giant axe, a sword and shield, gauntlets, And then the last one would be a spear or a bow staff. Any one of these would still make Hunter a melee fighter, and each weapon could have a useful passive. It's mostly why I'm doing this, all right? So, for example, the short swords, let's say they give you a movement boost. So, anytime you move with Hunter, his range of movement is longer than all the other characters in the game. The giant axe or the claymore gives you a small bonus damage percentage. For example, let's say Hunter gets a permanent 2% bonus damage on any of your damage cards or any damage that you do. It's just a plus 2% bonus damage. The sword and shield gives you shield points, pretty much how like Captain Marvel or Captain America operate. And per 5 levels or something, the number of the shield points increase. Gauntlets, it could be based off of how much damage you've done overall. For example, let's say you've done, I'm just going to throw numbers out here. Let's say in one fight, you've accumulated 500 damage. And every 500 damage, you get one bonus action. It could be I would say a bonus action. So either a movement or using a card. It could be at per 500 damage, per 1000 damage, and it carries on into your next fight. And last, the bow staff or the spear could be something like lifesteal, kind of like how Blade has his bleed or health bleed or whatever, however you want to word that one. So, recapping this one, you can create your character with more customization options, and then choosing between 5 weapons that also give you a bonus passive to start the game off. Moving on, the second thing I would change is the combat system, and really just the cards themselves mostly. Don't stop me from making my deck what I want it to be. Even if it's nothing but damn attack cards or heal cards, make it my choice to build however I want to. And the same for all other characters. And instead of me drawing cards and having everyone's cards in my hand, making a total of like 6 cards in my hand, let me only draw 3. 3 for Hunter. And then when I tab over to Captain America draws 3 cards. And then when I tab over to Blade draws 3 cards. And every turn, they either get 1 or 2 cards. Instead of me holding everyone's cards, because there have been plenty of times where I have cards I can't use because I just don't have the enough action heroism points, or because that character has already used that turn on that character and I have most of their damn cards in my damn hand. That was so annoying. And characters and their decks need to stand out more. Captain America is fine with the shield. Blade was perfect with the bleed. But everyone else should have had something. Magic, for example, every time she passes through a portal or something, she gets a stack. And after however many stacks, she gains X amount of damage, or she could do X amount of damage. Something like that. Spider-Man, since he's using webs, he can slow enemies. So they don't have to run all the way to you and hinder you. They are like, I guess like it would restrict their movement. Like they can only move halfway compared to their original distance of movement. And then Ghost Rider could do burn damage. That's easy as hell. Burn damage with Ghost Rider. So then when characters are set up like that, you really have fun and you think about who do you want coming into the next fight. So recapping this one, give me 100% control over deck building, so I don't get flooded with everyone's cards and getting to situations where I can't use those cards. And then giving every character up some type of passive that makes them stand out on their own. Moving on to the third, and this one I think that would have caught so many eyes, personally. I think this would have caught so many eyes. I don't care what anybody says. Add some romance, all right? And before some of y'all go, oh gosh, we don't need romance in this one, be quiet, all right? Think about this. All right, think about this. It won't matter if you don't even play turn-based games, but you're a Marvel fan. You're buying this to romance Scarlet Witch, hands down. 100% hands down. All right? Now, I know the ratio of men to women in this game is pretty crazy, but you can balance it out, all right? In the Marvel's Midnight Suns comic, there are other characters you could add into the game. Moon Knight, Elsa Bloodstorm, Deadpool, Victoria, Jennifer, Werewolf, Dahlia, who was a DLC character, just put her in the main game. Morbius, adding these in the original game and having romance options. And on each romance, you get a little bonus story. For example, when you had to do that whole damn thing with magic, imagine that as a romance mission, I guess. And every person, anyone who you do try to romance gets one specific mission that's like between you and them. Something like that, all right? And at the end of the day, if you don't want to romance these characters, you just don't have to, all right? As simple as that. You don't have to. This way, it would help with the whole you having to, I guess, get cool with everybody. And it kind of just, I mean, it was okay, but I mean, sometimes I really just didn't give shit because I didn't get much out of it. So, adding romance to this damn game would have brought in people. Would have definitely brought in people. The fourth thing I would have changed is the damage and leveling up your cards. All right, damage-wise. It's a bit useless because, sure, you do a lot more damage later in the game, but your enemies have way more health later in the game. And it barely matters, really. Check it out. On the second mission here, your quick slash does 5 damage, and your health is at 50. The Elite Hydra enemy has 10 health. So you could, you know, early in the game, you're like, all right, cool, so I have an ability that does at least half of an Elite Hydra's health. But further in the game, that same quick slash does 31 damage. But an Elite Hydra unit has 165 health, right? Holy shit. My man went up 150 health. And even further in the game, your slash is only doing 51 damage on enemies that are 150 easy plus. Sure, in this one, you could use this Fury card for 204 damage and take this guy out. But holy shit, that is a crazy gap in card damage. And because this exists, this card for 204 and then this card for 51, that makes this card, your quick, pretty fucking useless. Aside from it being a quick, because you get to just, I believe you get to reuse, you can just use another card, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't played this game in a very long ass time. Aside from that, damage-wise, because a lot of situations just come to straight damage, it gets really fucking useless. You need to keep it consistent, right? Let's just say per level, you only get 1 HP, and there's 20 levels in this game, for example. You start at 50, you end with 70. Keep it simple. I ain't gotta be all at the end of the game fucking goddamn like 300-400 health or what the hell ever it is. Hydra Elites stay at 50, and then you could do mini bosses at 150 and actual bosses at 200, 250, 300, and all the goons in between that, right? You don't have to make it so goddamn crazy. Side note, they could remove the idea of needing 3 hero points to use a level 3 card. Take that shit out completely. Just that part. That's the only, like, having the, you can only play 3 cards, I'm cool with that, because that feels pretty traditional in turn-based games anyway, because you usually have a movement action, and then you have an actual ability action. I'm cool with that, using only 3 cards. And in this one, you actually have a movement that's separate from your card usage. I like that. You can keep that, but take out that bullshit of required levels to use this card, because plenty of times that fucked my hand up. Quick recap, make the damage in the cards and the enemy's health more consistent. That would have been fire. The way it is now, some cards just suck because the damage they do is absolute shit later in the game, and you kind of hate to see them. The last thing that I would change are the side missions themselves. Either have 10 side mission types to where you don't do them in the main mission. Like, all these side missions are exclusive to side missions. Because if I already did this shit in the main mission, I'm gonna not like it as much in the side fucking mission. Or have side mission stories, alright? There are Marvel Midnight Sun comics out there. Use stories from those, or just make up some. You have a plethora of characters that have plenty of stories. Small stories, it doesn't matter. Use stories from those characters that are already in this game for the side missions. Because the side missions were, I'm not going to say useless as hell, because you can play those side missions and get artifacts or get points, what the fuck ever. But they suck to play sometimes because you've played them so many goddamn times. And those are the 5 things I would change. Customization, combat system, deck building, add romance and more characters in the original game, leveling up system, card damage, and side missions. That's kind of more than 5, but like we pretty much hit most of them. You know what? I'll even add a 6th thing to change. When you level up, it should just be the +1 health. Alright? And unlockables. For like unlocking cards, unlocking weapon skins, outfits, stuff like that for leveling up. Except for the whatever fuck we got. Because like, that makes me want to grind levels. If I can get more cards, unlockable skins just from leveling up, I'm diving in them side missions. And if those side missions are fun, even better. That's a 2-in-1, right? I did enjoy the game when I played it, right? I really did enjoy it. Again, it was a 7.5. That's pretty good. That's above average, because average is like a 5. But I couldn't play it a second time. Nothing would have been different from my first time playing it, aside from who's in my party fighting during that mission. But like, mostly everything would have been the fucking same. But I'll end it on this. Marvel's Midnight Suns did something no other turn-based game has ever fucking done. Turn-based games, even some action RPG games, need to take note on what Marvel's Midnight Suns did. And that is hearing the character speak. So fucking simple, right? That is some top tier shit right there. Imagine playing Skyrim, Fallout, Baldur's Gate, whatever. Dragon's Dogma, any game where you're playing a character, whether he's customized or an original character, and you're only reading fucking lines. Alright, we're used to it. But imagine if your character actually spoke. Boy, it gives so much flavor to the fucking game. And Marvel's Midnight Suns did that. Shit was fire. Other games need to take damn note of that, because it's really cool. It's just such a beautiful added bonus, and I would have enjoyed it a bit more. So tell me what you guys think about this. All right, tell me in the comments what y'all think about the topics we've talked about. If all these were in the game, would you have enjoyed it more, or did we just straight up ruin this shit and it would have just been worse, or it just would have been bad, right? Please let me know what y'all think about those. Aside from that, thank y'all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Aside from that, love y'all. Peace out, peeps.